Hi everyone, welcome to EL 892 Teaching Learning Models for the fall semester of 2015. I'm really excited for you to be here. I've been doing a lot of work to get ready for this class. I'll be honest, this is the first time I've taught this class, but I'm really excited about it. I've been spending time over the summer reading our books and making some plans, and I'm anxious for us to get started. I see this as a course that really focuses on the art of teaching, which is so important today because teachers are under fire and we have to be the best teachers that we can be to help elevate the level of our profession. So that's what I'm hoping that we're going to focus on in the course over the semester. Now, I do want to encourage you as you get started to go to the Getting Started module in Canvas that will have the syllabus and the course overview and some information about me as an instructor. That's a good place to get started. But what I'm going to do in this video is kind of get things going and then really talk about Unit 1 and the assignments that you'll be doing in that unit. So I want to start off and tell you a little bit about myself. I am starting my 30th year of teaching this fall, which I may be excited, isn't quite the right word, feeling a little bit old, but also feeling a little bit experienced, but also feeling like I still don't have it all figured out. So I've always wanted to be a teacher. I can't imagine myself doing anything else besides being a teacher. And there's a little part of me that's thrilled to be able to say that I've been at it for 30 years. Besides teaching, I do enjoy reading. I read a lot of children's books because I write a children's book review column for the Topeka Capital Journal, which is available online every other Friday if you're ever interested. I also listen to a lot of books as I'm driving because I live in Topeka and drive to Emporia 3 times a week. I do some writing myself. Some of you were in my class this summer, so you know that I've co-authored a book about reading online. And then I have another book that's a textbook, a language arts textbook. So I do enjoy writing. I don't get to do that as much as I would like to. I'm a mother of 5 children. We have a blended family, so I have 3 stepsons that are 32, 28, and 23, and a daughter who is 24 and a son who is 21. And they all live either in Topeka, Kansas City, Manhattan, so we spend a lot of time doing family things together. My husband and I enjoy hiking and biking, and I also like to do yoga when I have time. So that's a little bit about me. We'll be getting to know you in one of the first assignments coming up. I'll be talking about those here in just a minute. I'd like to let you know kind of how the course is organized. Sometimes it's hard when you first get started to find things. So the very best place to go is the modules link that you'll see on the left in Canvas. Everything that you need for doing your assignments is going to be found in those modules. And you can see at the beginning of each module or unit that there is an overview video like the one I'm sharing with you right now. There's one of these for every unit that will kind of get you going, explain the assignments, give you a little bit of background information. Be sure and check that out first. The second thing to check out in a new unit is the checklist, because it will let you know what you're going to be reading and viewing, what you'll be learning in that unit, what kinds of assignments you'll submit, and when those are due. You'll also be using the discussion board link. So anytime we have a discussion board assignment, that's where you'll post your contributions, and I have given you some instructions for how to do that if you are new to the discussion board. Be sure to check the announcements link when you first come into Canvas. I'll post course information there, but I'll also send course information out by email. So I hope that you're checking your Emporia State student email at least every couple of days, because that's how I will communicate with you, and hopefully you'll communicate with me in that same way. All of your assignments for this course are submitted in Canvas at the assignment link, unless it's something that you post in the discussion board, which I can just go in the discussion board and find it. So those are the 2 places where you'll submit assignments. Hopefully that'll be really clear when you start looking around. So the course is set up around the basic ways that we learn. So our activities are going to include reading, viewing, discussing, and creating, writing, word processing kind of all go in there together. So those will be the basic methods for learning that you'll see throughout the course. And I've tried to incorporate all of these in different ways. So we're not always doing the same thing every time. It's real important to me, and you can read my philosophy of teaching in that Getting Started section. It's real important to me that you have choice and you have options, you have different ways of responding built in. So I've tried to incorporate those into the course. Now, for Unit 1, you're going to be setting some personal goals for learning and reflecting on these goals. You're going to think about and write about your personal learning strategies. How do you like to learn? Because I think that influences how we teach. And you're going to then demonstrate an understanding of how the brain influences the ways people learn. So those are our objectives for this unit. Here's how we'll try to meet those objectives. One is I'm going to ask you to actually set your goals for what you want to learn in the course. And that will contain some reflection to it also, because the course is about teaching and learning, and we're going to expect our own students to set their learning goals. So it's important that we're doing that along with them. And I can say for myself, even though I have these close to 30 years of experience with teaching, as I was reading our books over the summer, I was reminded of some instructional strategies that I know I knew about them in the back of my mind, but I thought, oh, I don't really do that as well as I could or should. And so even, I guess, even for a person who has a lot of experience, and some of you may well have as much experience as I do, there's still so many things to learn about teaching or to be reminded of. So we're always trying to keep at the top of our game, and that's what I'm going to challenge you to do in this course. Even if you've learned about the strategies we're going to be learning about and you think, oh, well, I already learned about that. I learned about feedback. I learned about cooperative learning. That's great. I did too, but there's always new things to learn, and that's what I'm going to challenge you to do in this goal setting activity. I'm also going to ask you to think about yourself as a learner. What kinds of strategies do you like to use? What do you like to have in place? What do you want the environment to be like? Because I think being aware of our own strategies and environment preferences really helps us to become more aware of what our students need and want. So I'm going to ask you to think about those things. So those first two assignments are due August 23rd, and you'll see almost all of our assignments are due on Sunday nights by midnight. So those are two that are coming up quickly. Then also in this unit, we're going to do a little bit of exploring about brain-based learning. So it's all well and good to understand strategies for good teaching, but we also need to have an understanding of that other piece of what is the brain like to have in place for effective learning. I wish that we could explore this topic a little bit more. We're just barely going to be touching on it in this course, and you'll be exploring it in some of your other courses in our elementary ed program, but I can't let us get by without not at least talking a little bit about what the brain likes. And the brain likes novelty. It likes to try new things. It likes to be active, and it likes when the body is active. Those things help the brain to learn. So we'll be exploring that a little bit, and that'll be through an activity where you're going to be reading and viewing. So I'll give you two reading choices, excerpts from these two books, Brain-Based Teaching in the Digital Age and Teaching with the Brain in Mind. You'll pick one of those excerpts, and then I'll give you two videos, and you'll pick one of those. And then from that video and that reading that you're going to be doing, the material that you're reading, you'll write a summary, and you'll post that in the discussion board, and you'll respond to other people. And you can read more about how to do that in the assignment description. It's all spelled out exactly what I want you to do. That's not due till August 30th, so that gives it a little bit more time to get to that part of the assignment. So that's what Unit 1 entails. You'll see that the units are numbered and they have dates that go with them, and we'll try to keep pretty close to those dates. So the overview video for Unit 2 will be available for sure by the time the unit starts, which is August 31st, and maybe a couple days ahead of time, and that will give you an overview for that next unit. We'll just follow that format all the way through, and before we know it, the semester will whiz by.